If you're interested in any kind of fabric craft, then a visit to Nippori Fabric Town in Tokyo should be at the top of your list when you're setting your itinerary. On my last trip to Tokyo, I didn't have time to visit Nippori Fabric Town, so this time around I made sure that I set aside half of a day to go and visit this very famous fabric street. Nippori Fabric Town has over 80 stores, and a lot of them are specialists, so if you want lace, you can go to a store that has just lace, or if you want grommets for leather or tools, you can go to a store that just has leather. On the day of my visit, I only planned to go to 2 stores, but one of them was closed, so I only ended up going to the main tomato store, which was more than enough for me. Tomato has a few stores on the street, but the main store is the biggest of all of the fabric stores. There are 5 floors with incredible ranges of fabrics. I make dresses for myself and I mostly use printed cottons, so this was the place for me. On the first floor when you walk in, there's a lot of discounted fabrics, and a lot of their printed cottons are on that first floor. If you go upstairs, they have an amazing range of felts and wools, silks, brocades, laces, patchwork fabrics, everything you can imagine, they have here. It's really inspiring as well walking around here, because you might want to sort of go outside of your comfort zone and try using a fabric that you haven't used before. And the best part is the prices, because they are so cheap in comparison to what I usually pay for in the UK. And there are so many beautiful fabrics that I usually would not choose to get because they were just way out of my price range. They do also stock some more traditional styles of Japanese fabric, which is something you may be looking for while you're in Japan. They have an amazing range of plaids and ginghams, and I'm a big gingham girly, so I absolutely had to restrain myself from buying even more gingham to add to my wardrobe here. They have lots of character fabrics. I really liked the chikawa fabrics, they were super cute, the sumiko gurashi. But I don't tend to wear prints that have sort of branding or characters on them because that's just not my style. So I was more just sort of happy to have a look, but I didn't end up buying anything from this range. I will say as well, for the character fabrics, they are a lot more expensive than the non-character fabrics, so you really are paying for that brand. The Moomin fabrics were so cute, and I was very tempted by the one that had like the book style with little me. She's so cute. I was tempted, but I was restraining myself because the one thing you have to keep in mind here is your luggage weight limit more than your wallet, because that is what defines how much you can buy on your trip here. They have a lot of Disney prints as well if you're interested in those characters. Upstairs they have a massive range of patchwork fabric, so you can buy fat quarters or half quarters up here. They do also have the full bolts of fabric, so you can choose how much you want to buy. These were quite expensive. They were an American brand of fabric, so they weren't made in Japan, and I was looking for Japanese fabric. These brocade fabrics were just so stunning, and it was such a joy to be able to touch them and see what amazing range they had. The prices were a little bit high compared to the cottons, so I went for the cottons instead. It's tempting to be drawn to the vibrant colours, but I think coming in you need a game plan. I didn't have any specific patterns I wanted to buy for, but I do have certain colours that I like to wear, so I tried to stick with those. I loved these made in Nara fabrics. The prints are right up my alley. I love a floral print, and I love that they're made in Nara in Japan. I did end up getting one of these. They do often have the same print in multiple colours, so it's really easy to find colours that fit with your aesthetic. Back on the ground floor, there were just so many beautiful cotton prints and laces as well. I was really drawn to some of the broderie anglaise fabrics, but I already have some at home, so I didn't buy any. And they do have some of these really fun Japanese style prints. And they have these wonderful carts that you can put the bolts of fabric in and push around. I've never seen these before, and it was a game changer. But it's also tempting to keep putting more and more bolts into your cart, so just be careful. You have to stop sometime, so I got my final pieces of fabric cut and paid for them at the till. I headed back to my hotel because it was quite heavy to carry around all day, but it was a great experience and I'd really recommend it. So let's get into what I bought while I visited the Tomato main store. All of the fabrics in the big bag are ones that I bought on the ground floor, and then this one was one that I picked up on the fourth floor, which is where the cottons are. So on each floor, you go to the counter, you get the fabric cut, and then you pay for it at the counter. So I just had to change the angle so I can get a better lighting on the fabric so you can see it. I'm going to start with this small one, and this is the one that I got on the fourth floor, which is where all of the cottons are. So this is a 100% cotton fabric that I got that is in this beautiful pink sort of border print with the leaves. And this one is all of these fabrics are made in Japan. And this one in particular is a country floral collection by Nakamura, and it's made in Nara, Japan, as you can see there. And this one was the priciest of the fabrics that I got, but all of them are so cheap compared to what I pay in the UK or in Australia. And this one was 913 yen per metre, which is about £4.75 a metre, and I got I think 3 or 4 meters of all of these fabrics because that's what I use to make dresses. So onto the big haul. Let's get everything out of this huge bag. So as they're cutting the fabrics, they're writing down all of the prices and amounts, and then they give you their little slip, and you use that when you go to the till. So you take everything with you. Again, all of these 4 fabrics are 100% cotton, made in Japan. I usually go for, as you can tell, pink fabric, but I thought I would try out this black and white sort of strawberry, lacy patchwork print fabric. And this one was 660 yen per metre, which is about £3.40. And I don't think it has a brand on it, but I just thought it would be nice to make a dress that wasn't completely pink, but I really just loved the detail on this one. And they had this in a few different colours. There was like a nice dark green that I was tempted by, but I ultimately chose this one. Next I got this stripy pink floral fabric, which is a beautiful, again, 100% cotton. And this one was 440 yen per metre, which is around £2.30. So I got 4 meters of that one. At that price, I couldn't really resist. The only thing holding you back when you're going to Fabric Town is your luggage weight limit. So I got 5 different fabrics. But if I had more luggage weight, I would have bought a lot more, I think. So you do have to keep that in mind when you are shopping there. And this one is a sort of houndstooth gingham floral. Again, I haven't had any fabrics like this one when I've been making clothes before. So I thought that one was very much in the kind of fabric that I usually like to have, but a little bit different. And this one was 418 yen per metre, which is about £2.15 a metre. Again, 100% cotton. I keep saying 100% cotton because in the UK, a lot of the cheaper fabrics are polyester or some sort of synthetic fibre. So to get 100% cotton, that's not a poly cotton, it's 100%, is really, really good and really good for summer dresses, which is what I will be turning all of these fabrics into. And then the last fabric that I got was this sort of heart gingham. It's very pretty fabric. Now, I don't have the receipt on me at the moment, so I can't remember exactly how much this one cost, but it was pretty much the same as the others, if I find the price, I will put it on screen. And again, I am a big fan of pink and gingham, and the little heart detail was just too cute to pass up. And a lot of these fabrics, I think like I mentioned with this black one here, they were in multiple colours, and I did think about branching out from pink, but ultimately I think stick to what you know, especially if you're shopping in a place like Nippori Fabric Town, because it's overwhelming and there is so much choice and so much temptation that I think, you know, go in with a game plan. I don't have specific dresses that I am planning to make with these fabrics. It might be tops, it might be skirts, but usually I make a dress because I find them the easiest to make. But I'll put up on screen some of the patterns that I like to use. I've made multiple dresses in the same patterns. I generally find a dress pattern that I like and I make multiples out of it. Sometimes I'll change up the sleeves, or if they have different necklines. A lot of the time I use the charm patterns because I find for myself that I don't have to tailor them too much, because I'm lucky that my sizing falls exactly on one of their sizes, so I don't have to make any adjustments when I'm sewing. So overall, all of this fabric cost me £67.50, and I got 4 meters of each fabric, so on average that is about £3.38 per meter, which is mind-blowing. Like I said, I'm used to only getting fabrics that cheap if they are made out of polyester or a polycotton blend. So I'm really, really happy I made the effort to go to Nippori Fabric Town. I've got a lot of sewing to do. But if you are traveling there and you've got a generous luggage allowance, I would say go for it. But take it easy, have breaks, go get coffee, have lunch, because it can be quite overwhelming. But it's really rewarding to visit Nippori Fabric Town. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. I've got lots of other videos about my travels in Japan. I love stationery and travel and walking around. And if you want to see more sort of sewing related videos, let me know. I haven't made any others yet, but I could possibly if you would like to see that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!